Hello and welcome to SOU Online Advisor Training. My name is Nicole Hefflinger and I'm the new incoming ICC Director. Thank you for taking the time out of your day to do this training with us. And this is?
Hi, my name is Larry Locke. I am the new Assistant Director in the Office of Student Life. And one of my primary responsibilities here in Student Life is advising ICC and working with all our great clubs and orgs. So that's why I'm here today. Before we get started, I wanted to make sure that you all had my contact information. So this is my extension 26066, and here is my email, Lockel, L-O-C-K-E-L, at sou.edu. Oh, Nicole, you wanted to share yours?
Yep. If you ever have any questions just for the ICC in general or anything like that, you can contact me at the SOUICC Director email at gmail.com.
Yeah. Today's training is going to be pretty quick and pretty straightforward of all the basic concepts that an advisor would need to know. But really, if you have any questions, comments, or concerns at any point, please feel free to contact us. Also, if during the online training you think to yourself, whoa, I want to sit in a room and talk with some people, this online training is not working for me, but reach out to me. I'll let you know when the next in-person training is. I also will email the whole campus body of all the planned in-person training dates that we have each term. All right, so why are we providing this online training? This is new. Well, a lot of the processes that clubs and orgs would go through typically in the past have been moved to an online platform that we call SOU Connect. So we thought as we're moving to an online platform, it would also be great to get that information to you as quickly as we can. So we thought that this would be that opportunity. A little bit about SOU Connect. This will be the first quarter that we roll it out, and the Office of Student Life and the Provost Office, we really want students to just join and start to figure it out. We will have on the same day as Club Fair, which is October 1st from 11 to 2 p.m. outside the Stevenson Union. We will have an SOU Connect kickoff also, where we'll be showing students how to use SOU Connect, and we'll have a bunch of neat swag. A fun fact about SOU Connect and this online platform is that it will allow students to track all the meetings that they go to, all the events that they go to, so when they graduate, we can create them a co-curricular transcript. They can come into Student Life and we can provide them with a list of everything that they accomplished outside of the classroom that they have logged through SOU Connect, which is pretty cool. Nicole, do you have anything you'd like to share before we move on?
If anyone has any general questions, our office is located upstairs in the SU 312.
In 312,
In
yep.
312.
Yep, right across the hallway from the Student Publicity Center.
Office hours are 8 a.m. to 5 p.m.
Yeah, great. And once again, my my extension is 26066, and my email is Lockel, L-O-C-K-E-L, at sou.edu. And I really plan on being very responsive with emails and phone calls this quarter. All right.
Thanks again, and let's get started.
Oh, okay. We have found our PowerPoint, and we're just going to scroll through this for a bit, and we'll be going back and forth between this PowerPoint and SOU Connect, because we want to make sure that you feel comfortable using SOU Connect.
Back to the basics. There's a new year, there's a lot of new people, and a lot of new technology.
But that will give us a lot of new possibilities. We're really hoping that what is put in place for this year is going to help student groups stop reinventing the wheel and just be able to move forward and do some new, creative, innovative things.
Indeed.
So we shared our contact information earlier in the presentation. This is everyone who would be someone that you would possibly want to reach out to if you have a question. The person who is not in this video that would be somebody that you do need to know is Tatiana Bredekin. She's a Student Life Budget Support Specialist. She is the staff person in Student Life that is really going to help the clubs understand their budget and process forms correctly. I would say anytime you're doing something and you're not quite sure, make an appointment with Tatiana and ask her the best way to handle the situation would be. Do you want to say?
Well, especially when it comes to travel, that's for sure.
Yes. So, and we actually, this year, the first time you do travel, if a student has not completed travel before, we are going to ask them to make an appointment with Tatiana prior to the travel date so that they can actually be 100% successful their first time around completing travel.
These are the outcomes that we would like you as advisors to know and stuff by the end of this training.
All right, all right, Nicole. Well, so we've already done the first part. We only have another 6 bullet points to cover. So let's get started. And feel free to pause this if you need to read through these outcomes at any time or anything that's on the screen. All right, what is a club advisor? So a club advisor acts as a mentor, a counselor, and the college liaisons to the club.
Now you might want to take a brief moment to pause the video and read these following bullet points.
All right. So the responsibilities of a club advisor. Take an active role in the club, but they do not need to run the club. Advisors give students the room they need to succeed and also to fail.
They serve as a primary point of contact for students when students are traveling, need mentoring, and or have questions about the club or university policies.
They encourage students in the club to get involved in appropriate professional associations, attend conferences, and do poster presentations.
They also assist the students with budget requests, travel forms, and quarterly reports.
So club recognition. So in order to be a recognized club and in good standing, clubs must register every fall. So clubs are going to register by, a student who is a student leader in the club will need to go to SOU Connect and register their club through there. And we're going to talk a little bit about where you can find information to register a little bit later. But below are some of the benefits to being a registered student club here at SOU. So leadership development, they get a seat and a vote at Interclub Council, they get room reservations in the Stevenson Union, they get to use the Sowers Leadership Center and the Student Publicity Center, and they get access to funds from ICAC. SOU clubs have a number of responsibilities that they must follow. And I think we can all agree, following the law and SOU policies and guidelines are our priorities for the responsibilities. They also need to only have SOU students as voting members or officers or fiscal stewards of those clubs. The clubs and groups cannot be used as a front for an off-campus group or an academic department to obtain benefits. This needs to be a student group with co-curricular interests. They have to re-register each fall and provide an updated list of the officers and student members.
Update the Office of Student Life with any officer changes during the academic year, and maintain an account for all group-generated money through the Office of Student Life.
So that if your club or organization is doing some sort of fundraiser, they need to deposit it into their student club account through the Office of Student Life.
And you would talk to Kay about that.
Or Tatiana. So what is Interclub Council?
Interclub Council, or ICC, is an organization made up of one representative from each registered club on campus. The main purpose of ICC is to create strong organizations, share information, collaborate with other clubs, and promote leadership development.
It is a pretty swell time.
It is.
Yeah.
How to stay in good standing. They have to participate and attend in ICC meetings. One student must complete club training, and the club advisor completes advisor training, which is what you're doing now. You also have to complete the following documents: a registration form to register the club, which a student will do, the advisor agreement form, which is what you'll be doing, a signature form, which is a form that the students of the club fill out, so when they're requesting money or they're requesting something of SOU or student life, they're the ones responsible and they're the ones that need to sign for those things.
Yeah, so the signature form is the form for the fiscal stewards of the club.
Yeah.
So generally that would be because two students need to fill it out. It is typically officers.
Yes.
Yes.
And then the quarterly reports, which the officers of the club should fill out at the end of each quarter.
All right. We will now switch over to SOU Connect so we can show you how to fill out your advisor agreement form and fill out your profile on SOU Connect. I have one where it's logged out.
Just log me back in.
Oh.
That one.
All right. All right, so we are here. The website to get to SOU Connect is right here, sou.edu/SOU Connect. So you're just going to go there. It'll think for a little bit. And then what you will do you want to sign in, Nicole?
Yeah.
So you will just click on the sign in now button. Oh, interesting. It's sign me in. Okay. So what I'm viewing is a slightly different than what you will view because I have administrative rights to the webpage. So when you log in, there will be a prompt to fill out a profile, and if not, you can just go up to this corner, click on the downward facing arrow and go to settings. That'll pop up your profile, and in your profile is where you'll put your first and last name. You can upload a photo if you desire. It is not mandatory. Anything with a little red star is the information that we really need from you. So we're also going to need some sort of contact information. One of your, if your SOU.edu email isn't there, that would be perfect. If you want to add in anything else, you are free to do so. If you want to link your social media to your profile, I know students are pretty excited about the possibility of doing that themselves. Then you can also go in here and add any contact information you would like. You can set your privacy settings. See, so the only thing people can see about me is my campus email address. That's what I would really recommend. Maybe your phone number to your office. And then there's also a section for notifications for the clubs you're working with. All right, so I'm going to go back to the home page. Now, once you have a profile yourself and you're logged in, you're going to search for Inter-Club Council, or ICC, right here. You're going to click on it. And then, Nicole, you want to walk them through how to fill out the advisor agreement form from here?
All right. As soon as you get to the ICC profile homepage, what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to click on profile right here at this top part. And it'll send you to this cute little page. And here are the forms that we saw in the PowerPoint. And the Club Advisor Agreement is the third one down, which is what you're going to want to click on. And then you're going to just fill in what it asks you to. Club name, for example, cosplay maybe. Advisor, whatever your name is. Your title or position at SOU. And then it's going to pretty much just say, hey, these are what your responsibilities are. Please check the box below to indicate that you agree to the expectations of an advisor. And so you're just gonna click all of these, after reading them, of course.
And I'd like to point out that this third bullet point down is your agreement to go to the annual advisor training, which you are doing right now as we speak.
And then all we're going to need is your electronic signature down here at the bottom. What did I put? Purple. Did I even spell it right? I didn't.
It's
okay.
You spelled it real special.
Click next. And then right here, you're going to submit for approval. And then it'll show you that your status is pending until Larry goes in and...
Yeah, so what I will do on my end as an administrator for SOU Connect is I'll just go in, I'm going to double check that you are an actual SOU employee, whether that be faculty or staff, and then I will just approve your status as an advisor. So it should be pretty simple. Okay, so we're going to go back to the PowerPoint. Great, so in all of these forms are online. Let's show really quickly how a student would register a new student group on SOU Connect. They'll go to the home page, and then they do...
Trying to make a new club?
Yeah.
Okay. You're gonna see all my organizations? No, hold on. Organizations. And then register a new organization. Hit register. And voila! Things you need to fill out to become a new club.
And again, it will prompt the clubs to fill in all of the required pieces. If anything, after they submit this, it will get sent to me, and I can approve and deny the club submission. Essentially, I'm just looking to make sure that they've filled out everything appropriately and correctly, and that there's 7 members, and that they have identified an advisor. And if I deny it, I will send them an email through SOU Connect that clearly outlines what they just need to do in order to register to be a club or organization. Okay, so I'll switch back over to the PowerPoint. Let's just go to this piece. So we are talking about a lot of stuff here in this training, but where is all this stuff in writing? I'm sure that you're going to want to review that or be able to share with your students where this information is at. So today is September 21st, and the Student Life website is currently under construction. We are very much hoping that by September 28th, all the next 3 bullet points down, we'll be able to have everything up there ready to go. And most of the stuff is on there. It's just a little outdated. But on the 28th, we will be ready to go. So there will be a link to SOU Connect. For the most part, the huge majority of forms that students used to fill out to do an event or to register themselves, those are all through SOU Connect now. And SOU Connect will essentially prompt students through the process. So there's quite a bit of information, and just essentially how you get the meat and potatoes of the club done is through SOU Connect. The club manual right now is a 33-page document that details virtually every policy or procedure that a student club would need to know, as well as plenty of screenshots of how to use SOU Connect. While SOU Connect is supposed to be an intuitive platform, we recognize that everybody is on different levels of technology, so we're really trying to meet that need with the club manual. As an advisor, what I would suggest is when students ask you a question, for you to either refer to the club manual or to ask your students, have you looked in the club manual if the answer to your question is there? Because chances are that it is. And since Nicole is the director of the ICC, I'll let her speak to a little bit about what the guidelines and constitution are.
So the ICC guidelines and constitution, also our bylaws, are on the Student Life website under the guidelines tab, and some of them as of right now are outdated, but everything is being updated as of right now and will be posted online, like Larry said earlier. And basically what they all are is just the rules and regulations that ICC follows and what all the students going to the meetings and everything like that need to read, go over, what the clubs need to read and go over, because they're all of our rules that everyone just needs to know.
Yeah, so most of the details are going to be in either the club manual or the guidelines constitution. Yep. Great. So ICAC, this is the portion of the presentation where we explain how your student group gets funds. Do you want to kick us off, Nicole?
Okay, yeah. So ICAC is our Inter-Club Council Allocations Committee, and they're responsible for allocating all the funds to the clubs. ICAC consists of 5 elected members of ICC and 1 senator appointed by the Senate. Their duties include receiving and tracking fund requests, maintaining an updated account of the budget, and communicating with the necessary staff and the council.
All right, so the money. Where does it come from and how does a club get it? How do we use it? Terrific questions. All right, so every term, students are charged $301 in student fees. So then, the student fee committee divvies some of that money up to the Educational Activities Advisory Council, who in turn takes a portion of money and hands to the Interclub Council to divvy out responsibly to different student groups on campus. So
the clubs get the money by one of 2 type of requests through ICAC. The first one is a one-time annual budget request, which is where a club knows everything they're going to do the entire year. They know all of the money that they're going to be using and for what. And they've established being a club for at least 2 years as their requirement. And they request from ICC, hey, this is all the money that we need for this entire year, for this, that, and the other. And then they get accepted, or, well, everyone gets accepted, just a certain amount. The second is the quarterly budgets, which is what most all the clubs do. And it's just a budget request that's filled out for that quarter, and they are seen by ICAC and they accept it however they do it.
Yeah, I would recommend clubs to do the quarterly budget because the huge majority, there's only a handful of groups that actually use the one-time annual budget. Because you can't ask for more money from ICAC if you do the 1 year, one-time budget, the annual budget. And then again, the budget request form is actually just on SOU Connect on the ICC page profile. And in the club manual, it walks through, there's plenty of screenshots on how to go about making that request. So once the students get the money approved, how do they use it? Well, they can get a reimbursement. They can go out and purchase things themselves and get a reimbursement. They are going to need receipts that are itemized. That is very key. We will, the Office of Student Life and the Service Center probably will not be able to reimburse students who cannot produce itemized receipts for purchases. The money can be used to pay invoices or contracts with different vendors. It's very important for you to know that as an advisor and your students also, you cannot enter into a contract with an outside party. In fact, that must go through the Service Center and the Office of Student Life. If a student or yourself as an advisor enters into a contract with an outside party and that has not been approved, or you have not worked with Student Life on that, yourself or your student are the folks who will be held financially responsible for that contract. Now, the money can also be used for travel. With that, we need at least 3 weeks notice. And students may be able to get an advance for travel because travel is pretty expensive. But again, work with us early on that. The folks in Student Life that can help with how to spend the money are Tatiana Bredikin or myself if you have questions about that. To go back to travel, once again, I really want to highlight that this year, if a student has not done a travel process before, or a club has not done a travel process before, we want them to make an appointment with Tatiana Bredikin and walk through all those steps. We really want the students to be 100% successful in travel, and this is really, we think, the best way we can accomplish that. Because travel is one of the most rewarding things that a student club can do. All right, so there are 3 types of money that student clubs generally can get. So ICAC money, which is where the club goes and requests monies from ICAC. Club funds have students are allowed to use this a little bit more freely, but this is money that they have fundraised themselves. So let's say that they host a big sale, they make $50 off that big sale. That money needs to go into their student club account, but they can use that money. They don't have to go to ICAC to get approval to spend that money. They can spend that money when and how they would like to. Some student organizations also can get money directly from SFC, but that is essentially the same. It's from the same pot of money that ICAC gets earlier on in the system, and that would be like the Black Student Union, Latino Student Union, any of the student organizations that are MCCs.
And if you request money from SFC, you cannot get money from ICAC or vice versa.
Yeah, you have to choose
one
for each school year. I would say for most organizations, it really makes more sense to go through ICAC than SFC. All right, so risky business. It's a thing. So as an advisor, we do really need you to help students understand what might be a risk or a concern for anything that they do. When students are filling out event request forms on SOU Connect, there will come a page where it asks them to complete a risk assessment form. It's really important that the students fill this form out with a lot of detail and to be intentional about it. If the form, when I am reviewing the event request form at the end of the process, I'll look through the risk assessment portion, and if it doesn't really meet the qualifications that we need, I have to pause and ask for more information or even perhaps deny the event and have them start over again, depending on the risk that may be involved. But if a student um, really puts a lot of detail into the risk assessment form, we can move through quicker. If you or your students think that you might be doing something extra risky, like having a car on campus and smashing it with a sledgehammer, which I guess was an event a couple years ago, come talk to myself before you start the process. We can just sit down and work on that together so that it can run smoother, or run as smooth as possible as you can when you want to smash a car with a sledgehammer. All right.
Prizes. Gift certificates can only be from the SOU bookstore unless it's donated. So you can't go out and buy a gift certificate from Walmart or something and give that as a prize. You can only purchase an actual item from a store to give as a prize. For our records, you must fill out the prize receipt form, which is also on SOU Connect.
It should be on SOU Connect. In addition, if when we are reviewing an event request form, and you have put in there that you're going to be purchasing things for prizes, we will make sure that that form is filled out properly. So the thing with SOU Connect is it's adding in these lovely checks and balances. So it's allowing us to see what folks are doing earlier in the process and to communicate with them. All right, travel. We have talked about this a good handful of times already, but we are just going to bring the hammer home. Is that the expression?
Reiterate it.
Yeah, well, okay. Well, so here we go. Travel. So the first time a student or a student group is doing travel, they need to make an appointment with Tatiana Bredikin to walk through the details. We want the students to be successful. When they are making that appointment, or once they have things down, they're going to be first completing an event request form on SOU Connect, and then the travel request form. I know I'm seeing here on this slide it says the travel request form, but the event request form needs to come first, and that needs to be done 21 to 30 business days in advance. That will cover most forms of travel. Some travel could potentially take longer, and we will. So it's very important for, as soon as you know that you need to travel, to reach out to us if you think that it might be extra, if it's pretty far away.
The next thing you're going to do is, or your students are going to do, is they're going to obtain driver clearance through SOU. If you're planning on driving yourself, then you will as well. And you're also going to have to sign stating that you are aware that your students are going on this trip and that your information, you yourself, will be available while they are away on this trip if you are not going with them. Driver's clearance is obtainable on the SOU website. If you just type in driver's clearance, it will be like the first thing that pops up. You watch a video, you take a little quiz, you pay $5.
And the student fee, the student clubs can pay the $5 fee that it takes to get the driver's clearance. And that is all also detailed out in the club manual. My thought on this would be, if you know that you're going to be doing travel, or your student group knows that they're going to be traveling, take care of the driver clearance at the beginning of the year, so you don't have to worry about it later on. In addition, everyone who travels for a club needs to fill out an assumption of risk form, and Student Life will provide that form after all the other proper paperwork is completed, or online submission is completed. Now here's the good part. So if you are the advisor to Chess Club and your group is going to Orlando in December, and they fill out an assumption of risk form, that next February when you take a trip to Portland, all the students who have already filled out an assumption of risk form for the Chess Club would not need to complete that form again. Now, if the students went with you to Orlando in December for chess club, but then went to Boise, Idaho with dancing club in February, they would have to fill out a new assumption of risk form. So the assumption of risk form is for specific clubs travel. So then, after the trip is complete, the students or yourself will use the travel reimbursement form for any reimbursements that need to occur. And again, if you have any questions about that, there's tons of details in the club manual. You are also welcome to pick up the phone and call me at any time.